this is Mike with Motorrad Audio, and this video is going to cover the difference in all of our kits for the BMW K1600 motorcycles. So we'll start with the things that are universal across all of our different stage kits. So in the box, you're going to have your amplifier that's going to come pre-mounted on its bracket, already pre-tuned and ready for installation. If you ordered one of our stage 1 or 2 kits, you're going to have a 2-channel amplifier. If you ordered one of our 0.5 upgrades, that leaves you prepared for future upgrades, or you did a stage 3 and 4, you're gonna have a 4-channel version. That's the one I have here. You're gonna have a fuse holder package that's going to have your fuse holder that's ready for the installation. You're gonna have your mounting bolt, as well as dielectric grease that is used for the connections during the installation. You're going to have a wire harness or power harness that has a 10 gauge power and ground for your 2-channel kits, or an 8 gauge power and ground for your 4 gauge kits, or 4-channel kits, sorry. You're going to have an input and output plug that's basically going to have your BMW factory plugs on it for plugging in behind where your original pods were plugged in, so there's no modification to the factory plugs. You'll have a new plug that plugs into our kit that you're installing, or our pod or panel or what have you, and you'll have your input and output plugs that are made to plug into the amplifier behind that left front fairing. If you did one of the models with a 4-channel amp, you're going to have also a rear speaker harness that's going to plug in at the amplifier and run to the back for plugging in the various pod options we'll cover here in a second. So all of our kits are going to be completely plug and play. They are made for no modifications to the bike from a wiring standpoint. There's zero interaction with CAN bus. It's all being done after the factory amplifier. So as far as the bike is concerned, this kit doesn't exist. It really has no idea, other than there's a little more current draw on the battery than before when the system is playing, but that is not something that the bike is monitoring, so it's not something that you have any concerns with. Originally, you have this pod from 2018 and forward. It's a mid-range, no tweeter. On the prior models, there was a tweeter here, but they eliminated that on the new models. So on any model of the K1600s, regardless of year, GT, GTL, Bagger, Grand America, what have you, this stage 1 kit will fit. So it's going to upgrade you from a 3.5, 4-inch style mid-range to a 5.25 inch, which, as you can see, is definitely a much larger speaker, as well as having a tweeter integrated into the center of it, so a much better high frequency response on it. This particular speaker is completely water sealed, so there's zero issues with riding in the rain, washing, anything else. It was made for the power sports industry, so it's designed to be on a motorcycle. It's not a car speaker that's being put into an environment that it's really not prepared for. So this is made to be in that environment. This is going to be what comes in your stage 1 or 1.5 and the 3 kit that is just dropping in a 5.25 into the front of those models. If you were to upgrade to one of our 2, 2.5, or 4 kits, you're going to be going to a 6.5 inch speaker. So again, a much larger speaker. It is water sealed behind there, so the tweeter is suspended in front of the speaker. There is no hole going through the speaker. It's, again, a speaker that's designed for the power sports industry, so it was made for this environment from day one. In this case in particular, with both of these, made for the Harley-Davidson market, so they are made to be a more aggressive speaker to overcome exhaust, wind, road noise, that sort of thing. If you have a 22 and newer bike, this is going to be the pods that show up. So these do fit in behind the factory grille. There are some minor modifications behind the grille that you do, but nothing that you visibly see. So when the kit is installed, the bike looks exactly the same as it did before. None of those modifications are structural or warranty concerns or anything else, because they have zero effect on the functionality of the bike, so no concerns there. And you can see those modifications in our install videos. If you haven't already seen that, reach out to us and we'll make sure we get those to you. If you have a 21 and prior model, then you'll be getting a pod that's made as an overlay to go over the existing grille. So this entire thing fits over the existing panel. It'll come with a snap-in grille as well as the other pods that we'll be covering in a second. So these actually pop into this section here. This will also have your mounting hardware and everything in between these. So when you're unboxing it, that's where that stuff is going to be for your installation. So same thing with this one. The biggest thing you're going to get with a stage 2 upgrade versus a stage 1 or any of the versions from 5 1/4 to a 6 1/2 is just a larger, higher output speaker. It does open up the options on the brands and output, so you're also getting a better speaker overall as well, because there's more options on the 6 1/2 inch end of things than there are on the 5 1/4 inch end of things. So if you are doing one of our stage 3 or 4 kits for your rear speakers, you're going to have new pods that go back there as well. So if you have a GT or GTL with the factory top case, these pods are going to mount onto that factory top case and have a grill that goes on. They can give you an option to also have a pair of 6 1/2s in the back. We do have some extra options on speakers for these and for these panels here. For those of you that maybe are more into the loudspeaker end of things for hyper high volume, we do have some options for you on that, so just reach out to us if that's something that you're interested in. But on your GT and GTL, these will go on that top case. There'll be pictures at the end of the video showing each of these pieces installed, so you know what they look like on your bike, because it's hard to figure out what this is going to look like with me just holding it here. So this will be your GT and GTL. If you're doing a stage 3 or 4 on a Bagger or a Grand America, these are going to be your panels. These sit on top of the existing bag in the back and mount with your 6 1/2 inch facing up here. This will again require cutting the top of the bag out for installing these, but the bag has multiple layers and you are not going into the internal structure of the bike, or I'm sorry, of the bag. So if you do this modification, there's zero concern with water intrusion into the bag. It doesn't take up any bag space whatsoever. Same thing with that pod there that's made for the top case. It does not intrude into the internal space of the top case, so you lose zero storage and you don't have to worry about water getting in there or anything like that. But both of these kits in the 3 and 4 will allow you to have front and rear speakers for perhaps a passenger, or if you just want higher output, then you can get out of 2 plain speakers. All of these kits are on our website at motorradaudio.com. Make sure you use the search by bike button that's on the page, because that will narrow it down to exact models that are compatible with your exact model of bike. We also cover a full range of kits for the RT series bikes as well. So if you or a friend have one of those, keep an eye out for those on our website. Naturally, if you have any questions on these kits whatsoever, or what any differences are that maybe I didn't cover properly in this, reach out to us. We're pretty quick to respond. And if you need anything else, just let us know. Thanks.